Welcome everyone to Vibe in Action, where we dive deep into how far our imagination can take us and become reality.
I'm ready to focus completely on today's episode. But before we get started, why don't we meet our guest? Could you say hello to our viewers?
Young soul on the panel.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Seung-Hyo Shin, or you can simply call me Hugh, and I am studying and researching on the invisible warfare.
Invisible warfare?
Like with invisible people?
Are you talking about those mental games, psychological infiltration and manipulation?
Not exactly, but think about that. In the past, weapons like tanks or fighter jets actually decided who is going to take the winning position in the battlefield. And who's
Like
gonna
our
win the
K9
war.
and K2.
Yes.
Exactly. But now, like keyboards, data, algorithms, and these kind of like what we call digital technologies, they actually are changing the very nature of battlefield and the conduct of war.
So that's the invisible warfare.
Exactly. So today we're going to talk about an AI warfare.
AI warfare?
Ooh.
This is a massive shift of paradigm. A little scary, but fascinating too. Why don't we start with a short video first and then find out more? We are going into a war, so
Okay.
stay vigilant.
Let's go.
Ready? Five in action.
This was a massive, overwhelming attack across all domains of warfare, striking more than 1,000 targets in the first 24 hours.
Wow, so I always thought that if AI were used in warfare, it would just be like a supporting role. But from what we just saw, it's already at the center of the battlefield.
Yeah, I didn't know AI could be weaponized like that.
Right. If history books in the future talk about the wars conducted during the 21st century, maybe in the future, then Iran war especially would be remembered. Maybe the first war where the AI played a very significant role.
Wow.
Oh.
Yes. So in the past, like military commanders and they spent weeks and months making the operation plans themselves. But now the military AI actually analyze a vast amount of data, provide various options, and human officers just need to review and approve one of them. That's simple.
Wow, so the AI is really reshaping the defense
Exactly.
landscape, and the concept of the battlefield is getting profoundly reshaped by artificial
Right.
intelligence. And I remember at the start of the Iran conflict a few months ago, the United States and Israel announced that they eliminated dozens of Iranian leaders almost simultaneously, which was so shocking. So is it AI that enabled all that in that operation as well?
Right. The official schedule of Iranian leaders and the communications between the security guards and facility managers, and even the CCTV footages that is gathered from Tehran, these were all combined and analyzed by a single AI platform. And of course, the Iranian leaders constantly changed their locations and schedules just to be avoid being targeted. But the AI system was still able to track and predict their next move, which definitely helped the operation succeed.
Wow, AI can even predict their behaviors?
Right.
Then what about the war in Ukraine, which is still ongoing? Is AI playing a big role there too?
You're right. The AI-powered drones have played a very significant role in the battlefield. And the Ukraine is also using an AI platform called Maven, which is made in USA and supported by the America. And the system actually helps to detect the Russian military bases, locations, and also provide Ukrainian military around like 100 of intelligence reports per day. Just magnificent.
Wow.
From Israel to Iran to Ukraine, AI is increasingly getting integrated into military operations.
Right.
And it's gaining more and more experience in real combats, which will only make it better and more powerful, right?
Right. By analyzing a vast and huge amount of data, especially the ones that is gathered in the real battlefield, the AI systems are reducing errors and hallucinations, and it's just retraining its algorithms and ultimately becoming something that is very much optimized for war.
So the more wars, the better it gets.
Exactly.
As well.
Our friendly Shuri and Ari,
Ari, Gemini, all
yeah,
of them.
Claws, they're all becoming soldiers.
Scary.
Right.
We're not done yet. We looked at the AI into the different approaches, and we select one. We then can move directly into how do we action that target. So we've gone from identifying the target to now coming up with a course of action to now actioning that target, all from one system.
최근의 모든 훈련이 그 당근을 피해줄까봐.
It's making me nervous. It seems like not only the international community, but also North Korea is accelerating the militarization of AI, not to mention us, South Korea. AI is not just a complementary tool or accessory, it's considered a primary military asset and a core infrastructure in modern warfare. Why are we investing so heavily in this defense AI?
Well, I think that's because the AI systems, especially in the field of military, not only help the armies to make faster decisions, but it actually reduces the wasted military resources and lower the cost of war. So in our case for South Korea, maybe the deploying military AI could be an answer for the question of declining military manpower, which is the biggest problem at the moment.
Decreasing young population
Exactly.
can be replaced with AI.
Right.
Yeah, and I think I saw an article recently saying that Korea was planning to reduce the numbers of actual humans on the front lines, replace them with AI and also robotic systems too.
Right.
The troop cut can be compensated with AI systems as well.
Well, I think we are doing okay. South Korea is moving really quickly to build up its military AI capabilities. And recently, the Ministry of National Defense established a division within it that is solely focusing on the defense AI. And it has already begun to introducing AI capabilities into weapon systems and real combat operations.
Well, I believe what you just said is good news for all the mothers who have sons in Korea. But what still worries me is that North Korea is already rapidly militarizing AI as well. I've seen analysis suggesting that they're accelerating AI weapons development by absorbing all the tested and proven lessons from both the Russia-Ukraine and the US-Iran conflicts.
You're right. So as we all have seen from the news media and the media articles, North Korea has sent the troops to Russia for the Ukraine war. And what they have actually witnessed in the war is that the AI-powered drones actually provide very tangible and significant benefits. That's why the DPRK regime is now believed to be working very hard to beef up its military AI capabilities by adding the cutting-edge technologies into its conventional weapon systems, including the nuclear bombs.
Oh, scary.
AI nuclear bombs sounds
Right.
like the worst thing ever. But with these increased AI capabilities in military and warfare, the important question, I suppose, is does it make war more or less likely?
Well, that's a really important question, actually, but still at the same time very daunting to answer because but I think the moment when countries begin to believe that they can fight and win a war much effectively and efficiently than with AI, then maybe the risk and possibility of war will escalate dramatically even than now.
Giving me a headache.
Yeah.
Right.
North Korea is already notorious for their cyber forces. And on top of that, they're training AI for military purposes. And if my understanding is correct, in almost every scenario, AI will most likely push the no, no, never, never button, the nuclear button. Don't we have to stop them immediately?
Well, yeah, let me tell you a story. A few years ago, one of the US Air Force officer who was in charge of AI operations talked about the results of a simulation involving AI-powered drones. In the simulation, the AI was given a command, which was find and destroy as many enemy surface-to-air military systems as possible. But there was a condition that the final decision to launch a strike must be approved by a human. And can you guess what happened next?
They didn't wait for human approvals.
That would be the worst case scenario, I assume. But yeah, shouldn't, if the condition be put in, it must ask the human. So did it
Right.
wait patiently, I hope?
Yeah, but they just attacked the system with no mercy.
Exactly. What's happened was really shocking and surprising. The drone decided to go back to the base and attack the human operator instead because it just believed that the human operator may refuse to make the final decision to launch the strike. And it may just make the slow down the entire mission.
They perceived humans as the problem.
Yeah, as an obstacle.
Even
Indeed.
though that's their side.
Right.
Wow, that's
Get rid of that and then destroy the enemy.
Exactly, yes.
total dystopia.
Right.
It's terrible.
So terrifying.
So when this story became so much controversial, the officer I just mentioned came to the media and explained that the experiment was not a military simulation, but something close to the third experiment, which was conducted outside of the military.
Okay.
And-
Outsourced
Exactly,
experiment.
yeah.
But what's the difference?
I'm not sure. He's just trying to
Give an
imply
excuse?
that, yes, it's not something that is responsible for the military.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he argued, but I'm not quite sure to what extent we should believe what he said. But many people, including myself, just realized how it is dangerous and how it is problematic to rely too much and too excessively on AI.
Wow, it's a stark warning. And gosh, it's a nightmare. We should never let AI make a life and death
Right.
decisions.
Surely.
We've already seen in real world how AI can create catastrophic errors as well as accountability gaps. But did you see the news, Peter? Back in February, on the first day of the US-Israeli strikes on Iran, there was a heartbreaking, brutal incident. A girls' elementary school was bombed by a Tomahawk missile, killing more than 150 people, including young children. And AI got the blame because AI has mistakenly identified the school, which was near a naval base, as military target. And the coordinates were based on an outdated information. How terrible and sickening is it?
Yeah, those kind
The
of,
casualties were almost 200.
and like children as well, right?
Yes.
That's the worst case. But I suppose even humans do make similar mistakes as well, but it's just perhaps easier to blame AI because it's not a human. But at the same time, to avoid this then, couldn't all countries just agree, let's not use AI in military, make that promise, sign some kind of treaty, or is that naive?
We wouldn't be seeing any kind of wars if that was possible.
I hope so.
Well, it'll be really difficult and perhaps almost impossible because AI technology is like an already opened Pandora's box. You know, we cannot stop AI from developing because it actually threatens our jobs. And same logic can be applied to this problem. The countries, it is very difficult for them to reach an agreement to completely ban military AI because they think it's kind of like a zero-sum game.
To inevitably be like a race to the bottom, and whoever's not using it is just going to lose out,
Exactly,
I suppose,
yes.
right? So what do? Just hope that every country has a certain amount of goodwill and a conscience to not use it past a certain point, maybe?
Well, for the question, I'd say that we need to think about the pros and cons of nuclear weapons. Well, if we look back the history, then the invention of nuclear weapons was considered as a great tragedy for the humankind and humanity, right? But at the same time, it actually decreased the possibility of a great war between major powers with nuclear weapons.
It's
And I
acting
think
as a deterrent.
Exactly, yeah. That's what we call nuclear deterrence, as you mentioned. And I think the same logic can be applied to the militarization of AI. Of course, militarized AI do actually cause very unwishful and terrible consequences. But at the same time, it can possibly prevent wars and perhaps contribute to maintaining peace and stability in the future.
Hopefully you're right. There should never be another error that ends up taking people's lives.
Right.
No more civilian casualties. So the question we need to ask in the end is not whether or not we should use it, but how we should choose to use it.
When the military AI was first introduced back then, its goal and function was quite clear and straightforward: to reduce the number of soldiers being killed in the battlefield, to minimize the civilian casualties. So if it's used properly, then the military AI would definitely help to reduce the unnecessary damage and probably end war more quickly.
Theoretically, yes, but shouldn't there be some kind of red line to prevent AI from spiraling out of control in the hands of rogue nations, especially when it comes to military usage?
Right.
And surely the clear red line should be it never takes the final decision. Humans should have to hopefully spend more than 20 seconds reviewing decisions, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. And in that regard, so many regional and international organizations, including the United Nations, are discussing and trying to find ways to regulate the military AI. And many countries, including UK and South Korea, they do believe and agree that weapons without a meaningful human control should be banned entirely.
I hope the new rules or new regulations to be drawn up quickly
Right.
to minimize harm before it's too late. Phew. Since we've covered a lot of ground, how about a quick recap and a breather before we move on?
That sounds good. Let's go. AI is changing the speed and way wars are fought.
From target detection to strikes, AI is spreading across the battlefield.
The US, China, and both Koreas are all racing to develop military AI.
What matters is not the power of AI, but the responsibility of the humans who control it.
But technologies like defense AI seem so complex and complicated for the military to come up with just by themselves, right? So, like the US collaborates with the private industry like Palantir and Anduril, surely that's got to happen everywhere.
Yeah, collaboration has become inevitable. I've heard that South Korea also has companies working closely with the military to prepare for the future battlefield. How about we take a closer look at where Korea is standing in the field of defense AI technology?
Okay?
5 in action.
Today's battles are won not by the number of weapons, but by the speed of information and the accuracy of decisions. Satellites gather intelligence from above. Drones collect data on the ground. AI connects scattered data into actionable intelligence, creating new possibilities for South Korea's defense AI, InSpace. InSpace is a geospatial AI company that integrates information gathered from satellites, drones, maps, and various sensors into one. The vast amounts of data that once had to be analyzed by people are automatically collected and analyzed by its proprietary platform, InStation. It is the core brain of future defense, helping commanders make swift decisions.
얼마 전에 제주도에 이제 선박이 들어왔는데 사실은 그 망망대해를 갖다가 다 분석하기는 쉽지가 않아요. 왜냐면 워낙 넓잖아요, 바다가. 근데 그런 곳은 인공위성으로 관측을 해요. 인공위성으로 막 100km, 200km 넓은 지역을 관측하게 되거든요. 그래서 선박이 보이면은 그다음부터는 이 선박이 도대체 어떤 선박이냐를 확인하기 위해서 드론이 날아가는 거예요. 그 현장에. 현장에 가서 드론이 그 선박을 찍고 이 선박이 불법인지 아닌지를 파악하게 되는 거고. 그러면서 이제 서로 정보가 주고받는 거죠. 사실 인공위성 하나만 가지고 되는 것도 아니고 드론만 갖고 되는 건 아니에요. 수많은 정보가 모여서 그 실제 작전에 쓸 수 있게끔 그 의사결정을 지원해주는 그런 거라고 보시면 될 것 같습니다.
Drones are the key players operating on the front lines of today's battlefield. Meeting the military's stringent requirements, InSpace has built up its expertise in short-range reconnaissance drone technology. Taking it a step further, the company introduced DroneSat, an unmanned operating system that enables drones to take off, patrol, and return automatically, without human intervention. This technology allows the military to safely capture real-time information from the front lines without risking reconnaissance personnel.
드론도 위성처럼 한번 자기가 스스로 날아가고 또는 관제실에서 컨트롤할 수 있는 그런 시스템을 만들어야 되겠다 해서 드론셋을 만든 거예요. 드론셋의 셋이 인공위성입니다. 인공위성. 그래서 인공위성의 기술을 드론에 접목했다라고 해서 드론셋이 된 거고요. 드론을 이제 관제실에서 자율자재로 우리가 운영할 수 있기 때문에 우리가 원하는 적시에 원하는 지역에 드론이 가서 데이터를 바로 보내주기 때문에 훨씬 활용도가 높아지겠죠.
3, 2, 1, 0.
If drones are the eyes on the ground, satellites are the eyes that provide a broader view. Following Sejong-1, South Korea's first privately developed Earth observation satellite, InSpace also succeeded in developing Sejong-3, the country's first privately developed hyperspectral satellite. By analyzing light across 442 wavelengths, Sejong-3's hyperspectral technology can identify not only the shape of an object, but also its material properties, opening a new frontier in defense surveillance and reconnaissance.
예전에는 카메라가 뭐 굉장히 커야만이 저 500km, 600km 고도에서 촬영을 할 수가 있었는데 지금 아주 작은 카메라도 지상을 잘 촬영할 수가 있거든요. 그러니까 기술 좋아지니까 위성을 작게 만들 수 있다. 이게 첫 번째고 두 번째는 발사하는 비용이 예전에 많이 들었어요. 수백억씩 들었거든요. 그러니까 재사용 발사체 덕분에 발사 비용이 거의 뭐 1억, 2억 수준에서 발사를 할 수가 있거든요. 저희 같은 중소기업에서 감히 이제 위성을 쏠 생각을 하게 된 거죠.
The government is also accelerating preparations for the future battlefield by allocating about $243 million to AI-based manned-unmanned integrated combat systems. In line with this shift, InSpace is also preparing for its next step. Its goal is a constellation of up to 50 satellites capable of linking space and the ground in real time. The goal is to rapidly establish an independent surveillance and reconnaissance capability.
저희가 물론 뭐 인공위성도 만들고 있고 드론도 만들고 있지만 사실은 거기서 나오는 방대한 데이터를 갖다가 신속하게 처리하고 거기서 뭔가 빠른 인사이트를 또 끄집어내는 것도 중요하거든요. 그래서 어떤 데이터 인텔리전스 기업으로서 전시에 또는 뭐 평시에도 중요한 인사이트를 빠르게 끄집어내서 제공해 줄 수 있는 기업이 되는 게 저희 역할이라고 보고 생각하고 있습니다.
An era where satellites, drones, and AI are connected as a single information system. South Korea's defense is now leading the future paradigm of warfare through advanced technology and data.
It's really impressive to see the private companies coming up with their own technologies while also launching satellites to have that AI data sovereignty.
Indeed, sometimes it looks like the private sector is doing even more than the government. But I wonder, when the commercial enterprises get involved in the military business, aren't there concerns that need to be addressed? For example, security, confidentiality could become a major issue.
You're right. As you just mentioned, security is maybe one of the most serious problems that we need to deal with. Because the military AI use a vast amount of sensitive data that is especially gathered in the real battlefield. And if the data is somehow leaked, stolen, or even poisoned by malign actors, then it's going to cause very serious national security concerns.
Wow, so that needs to be at the forefront of priorities.
Right.
But with technologies developing at such a pace, AI as well, what do you think, from an expert's point of view, will be the biggest difference on the battlefield, like 10 years from now?
10 years from now, in the future, I think the biggest change will be the speed of war. Yeah, in the future, AI will analyze data and approve those the decisions and make decisions, and also control drones and other the automated weapons in real time. So that means the interactions between humans will definitely decrease. And therefore, the battlefield and the actual conduct of war will become more data-driven, much faster, of course, and more automated, so which will be very different to what we are seeing today.
10 years from now, it's not such a distant future, but we might see some dramatic changes.
Right.
And maybe someday it'll be fully autonomous. The battlefield might not need humans at all,
Right.
just machine versus machine. Thank you, Dr. Shin, for sharing such intense and profound insights with us today. Well, it was truly an eye-opening discussion, right? We hope this conversation will serve as an opportunity to reflect on the more responsible use of artificial intelligence, particularly in the military domain. Shall we then wrap things up here?
Okay, with a big one. Here we go.
Attention. Vibe in action. Wow.
It's okay.
Go to the moon and then Mars. That's like becoming a reality, slowly but surely.
Yeah, whenever we see the footage, it just feels so surreal.
That GPS signal just comes direct from the satellite into space. In the cell phone, there is a small, the ultra compact cameras and lens beside it. That's developed by the United States NASA.
NASA?
Space technology is the dual-purpose use.
So what was just for civilians to communicate can be for soldiers and commanders as well.
95% of military operations rely on space-based system.
I really hope space technology is used not as a weapon, but as a shield that protects us safely.
We just want to protect the Earth and humanity, right?